Hello, welcome back everybody to Ku5ogrande. Let me go ahead and run this little macro to get everything updated. Very nice. I think we are ready for the reveal. And perfect. We get Tintin music doing the reveal. Oh, baby. I'm so happy though. Thank you all so much for being awesome. And honestly, even for the people who are eliminated, I cry. But I'm so glad that you joined, okay? Everybody except for one person gets eliminated during the tournament. So, you all are putting on a good fight, and you make me so happy. This is the happiest thing, I think, that I've ever done online. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's go ahead and reveal our GM. Mike Uyama, come on down. Come on downtown. Just spin around. Hey.
Hello.
How you doing, Mike?
Doing pretty well.
Good.
I've just been really busy recently, but I've found the time to fit a little Kuso into my life.
Busy, you. Yeah, wait. When does SGDQ start?
It starts in 3 weeks.
Okay. Yeah, so a little bit busy.
Yeah, exactly.
Teeny tiny bit. Well, cool. I'm really excited to watch that, especially Homie D Clown representing this year.
Yes. Yeah, so we just went over the incentives, and as Corn Dan mentioned, there will be a donation war for bad versus worst sound.
That is actually really hilarious, because the bad sound is bad. Like, there's no good music for the game. It's just, it's so trash.
In fact, Corn Dan was telling me that he didn't make PC Speaker a choice because there's just less of the sound in the game, so it's not even like the worst sound in the game.
Oh my gosh. That's kind of terrible and hilarious. Well, Mike, I feel like this game that you are giving out is a little bit better than Homie D Clown. At least that's what I'd say.
I mean, I guess it's more of a game, so that counts.
Yeah.
So I guess that would technically make it a better game. This is actually like a third or fourth reroll, and this is a game that I haven't played in a little while, but it was in Kuso 3.
Yeah.
And it is bad enough that it's not considered part of the official series canon for this series of games.
Yep. And I've actually played quite a bit of this, and we have had various versions of this on Ku5ogrande, and you know what? Somebody guessed it. Because we've got Strider Returns, Journey from Darkness.
Yep, the Game Gear version.
Journey from Dorkness. Just dorks run around in this game.
Yeah, and both the Genesis and Game Gear versions are bad. I would argue the Game Gear version is a bit worse because in the Genesis version, I can actually make progress past Stage 4. In the Game Gear version, I have no clue how to even beat Stage 4. And to be honest, it's very unlikely the competitors will even make it to Stage 4 in the match. So.
I would say that the Genesis version is actually very close to being a good game.
Yeah, it's playable. It's very stupid and frustrating, but it's playable. But like the Game Gear version, has the typical Game Gear portable problem of not being able to see the screen at all, on top of just being incredibly rude and difficult along with, I don't know, like slippery controls. They're not like unresponsive. They're just, I don't know, slippery. It's weird.
I mean, I had a Game Gear when I was young. Our parents were like, let's get you a Game Gear because that's color.
Exactly.
It's color.
And there was no consideration for the battery life for the Game Gear or anything like that.
Yeah, which I didn't mind. We usually played it on car drives where you could plug it into your car, into the cigarette lighter.
Cigarette lighter, yeah.
Yeah. That's how you play games. Don't smoke, play video games instead.
Okay, Faizu says the Game Gear had some hecking good games. This is true, I'm sure, but it's very much surrounded and outdone by the sheer number of bad games.
And also, my opinion for that is that all of the good games for the Game Gear were originally Sega Master System games. because essentially it's just a fancy handheld Sega Master System.
Pretty much, yeah.
So yeah, they took all of the good games from Sega Master System, made them portable, and there you go. It's Game Gear for you.
But yeah, I am of the opinion that sure, maybe I'm sure there are some good Game Gear games, but they are very much outnumbered by the bad Game Gear games.
Yeah, very much so. Well, I think we are getting close to getting everybody captured here. Oh my gosh, why... OBS, why are you being a patootie? Oh, it's a patootie. Corndan. Maikuyama. It's a patootie. You know...
Well, I mean, it's not XSplit. You remember. I mean, you used XSplit for the longest time, so... I'm sure it's less of a patootie than XSplit.
For the longest time. Yeah, that was a mistake. But I paid for it. I was like, I need to get my money's worth.
Oh, so you went for the sunk cost fallacy.
Yep, exactly. See, you know all about fallacies.
Yeah.
And hoo boy, that was a sunk cost fallacy for sure.
I kind of agree with Liz Star that the only things worth playing Game Gear are the terrible ports of good Mega Drive games. But there's actually some good games on the Game Gear. Like the Shinobi games are legitimately good on the Game Gear.
Are they exclusive?
They're all unique games. Yeah, they're actually like exclusive to the Game Gear. Like one of them kind of has like almost a Mega Man element where you get like different colored Shinobis, and they're like, you know, some are good for like different things. Like one throws bombs. I think the other has like a high jump or something like that. But it's actually really cool.
Okay.
The Game Gear Shinobi.
I'll go ahead and take everything that I said about the Game Gear back then. It had a good game or two that wasn't from the Master System. Oh, this music. Okay. This is gonna be good.
Sprint God says The Incredible Hulk is a pretty good Game Gear game. I'm not gonna lie, that game actually looked decent. Like, especially considering the Game Gear's pedigree.
Yeah. I've seen less appealing trash. Yeah. You know, it's like if there's trash that I'm gonna roll around in. The Incredible Hulk for Game Gear, you know, sounds pretty good.
Exactly. It wouldn't be too smelly.
Oh, I think I know why I'm having a hard time with OBS. It wasn't OBS, it was my keyboard being dumb. For some reason, it's just not, like, communicating with my computer very well. Like, it'll just not do anything for, like, 5 seconds, and then it's like, okay, let's type everything. So we are just about ready to do the countdown in Discord. So I need to know, Mike, what would be good emotes for chat to spam?
Let's see. There's a lot of electricity in stage 2.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of robots in this game, like whether it's mechanized animals or just robots in general. You do have this sword thing, so I guess swords, you know, that works too.
Okay, I like swords.
Yeah, so swords, robots, and lightning or electricity. Yeah, that would work.
Yeah. Okay,
No,
okay.
Not clowns, Karozy.
No clowns. By the way, everybody hold off. Don't spam yet because we're not doing the countdown yet.
Yeah, we're having a bit of technical difficulties, but looks like they've been solved.
Stop spamming. That's Mr. Blobby. Okay, how do we time out Karozy for a year?
For a year? We might as well just ban him at that point.
Well.
For a year.
1 year. Oh, yeah, the word I'm looking for is ban. Yeah, that sounds good. Okay. I think most of the players are ready. Whoop Vom Whoop says hooray. Oh, Faizu banned Karo Z! Heck yeah! The evil has been defeated!
Clicking on things is hard.
And they are playing on hard mode, is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Sweet. I'm gonna need to... Oh, because... Yeah, I'm gonna have to recapture Mr. OJ over here. That's fine. I've done this a handful of times. There, that's close. I'll fix it later. We'll fix it in post.
I'll fix it in post. Live. Hey, MJU Ray, don't mention the constant Bubsy emotes. That's probably also a bannable offense for all I know.
Okay. I'm doing a countdown for them right now. I guess. Am I? Like, there's confusion, because if you sit around on the start screen for too long, the demo starts, and then if you go to the difficulty screen, eventually it just leaves there.
Yeah, you only have 10 seconds at the choose difficulty screen, so that's too. You don't want to do that. You want to do it from the press start screen.
Okay. I'm doing the countdown. Spam your emotes. Please spam away. I just got a question during the countdown. Is my stream good? Are you getting audio? I'm like, yeah.
I was waiting
yeah,
for that.
it's good. We're going. We're going.
We're going. It's live.
Yeah. We'll fix it in post. Don't worry about it.
Exactly.
It's not like... Yeah, okay. Oh, what a day. But you know what? Any day that you Strider is a good day.
Well, unless it's this Strider, I guess. So, first thing you're going to notice is that you can barely see in front of you. The second thing you're going to notice is that jumps take you about 2 screen lengths. So, like, you're basically making a ton of blind jumps in this game.
Oh, yeah.
And what's worth noting is that your sword is a lot slower in other Strider games, unlike the Genesis version, which actually let you choose whether to use the new bad slow sword with bad recovery, which I forced them to use in the Ku5ogrande match, for maximum Kuso-ness.
Oh, yeah.
But, or the classic, Strider sword that's actually really fast and cool, and, you can, swing it as fast, as fast as you possibly can. No, this game just has the bad new sword.
Yeah, Grumpmeister is on to the first mini-boss of the game, which after the boss dies, Grumpmeister will die, so everybody get excited for that.
Yeah, because there is instant kill fire after the boss dies, and if you don't know that it's coming, it pretty much always kills you.
You're just gone.
Exactly. And because they're playing in hard, everything does a fair amount of damage to you.
Yep. Yeah, the infinite shurikens definitely helps. Yeah, some girl is gonna face the same fate in a little bit. Ku5ogrande decided to try backtracking. She's gonna get back up though.
Yeah, the infinite shurikens, they help and they don't help. And the reason why I say that is, yes, they have range, but they also don't do a ton of damage, and they can't hit the objects like the sword can. Oh, that death never gets old. Okay,
Everybody,
let's watch the other two screens.
Ku5ogrande and OJ Machine.
Okay, OJ Machine just is having trouble with the boss, period. Which, honestly, the missiles do a lot of damage, so...
Yeah, and, like, if you're throwing shurikens, they generally don't die. You can hit them with your sword, but the shurikens are kind of useless.
Okay, it's Whoop's
turn. Yeah! Okay,
let's see if OJ Machine's turn.
Come on, OJ! Die!
Okay.
Well...
Oh, just die to the missile instead, so... OJ's probably gonna have a round 2 with dying on the boss because he didn't experience, the insta flames. And OJ went past the elevator, so he just died,
you have
even
to
though
do
that's
a
where he's
blind
supposed to go
jump
down.
here. You have to do a blind jump to the right
Yeah,
because, video games.
exactly, because, video games, exactly.
This game is so bad.
It is really bad. This is the third or fourth reroll. I was done being nice with them, and I was one step away from my nuke.
I am doing a quick check just to make sure that I have everybody's stream in the correct place. We don't want any shenanigans on my end.
Julian RX, I don't remember the differences between easy and hard. If I remember correctly, you take more damage in hard.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And Whoop taking a reset, probably a smart idea because if you're going to game over that early, you might as well just make sure you have all of your continues, because this game has limited continues. And also, even though you start off with 5 lives, each continue only gives you 3 lives.
Wait, it has unlimited continues?
No, limited continues.
Oh, they are
you get
limited.
3 continues.
Gotcha, gotcha.
And everyone's just struggling with the jump past the robot boss.
Yeah.
It's and everyone, no one has
Some girl got it.
Some girl did it and almost got knocked off because of how far you get knocked back.
The manual apparently says there's only 1 continue.
I thought there were 3, but okay,
I don't know.
Whatever.
Whatever, manuals are never right anyway.
Exactly.
Don't read the manual, they will lead you astray.
I mean, I thought everything was in that Daffy Duck for Sega Master System manual, and I was clearly wrong because I
Just
never learned how to
gotta hold B,
run.
Mike. That's all you have to do.
But B was the fire button. It didn't seem like one of those running games.
You always try holding B. Always. Always, always, always. If there's a B
well,
button,
I've learned that now, Brocentra. I've learned it the hard way.
B stands for run. Yeah.
That's going in the quote line.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm taking a look, trying to find more information about this game, because...
Well, it's developed by our good friends at US Gold.
US Gold! Oh, my favorite! Wait,
Yeah,
no, it
exactly.
was published by
Kuso
US
favorite.
Gold.
Was
it Tiertex who worked on
it was
it?
developed by Tiertex, yeah. Which I think just developed for US Gold as far as I know.
I mean, probably, but they made wonderful games like Rugrats Totally Angelica. How about The Hunchback of Notre Dame? That has to be a good game. Timon and Pumbaa's Jungle Games. Oh, baby. Alien Storm. Is that like when aliens are just raining from the skies?
That's actually an arcade game. So this is the first boss on some girl's screen. It's solo. It was kind of well known in the Strider games, like, I guess, a prominent villain, I guess you could say.
Yeah,
And,
No Face Man.
Exactly. And yeah, it's really hard to dodge his attacks. And also, it doesn't help that you default to your shurikens, which is honestly kind of bad because they're less damage than your sword.
How do you use your sword?
You basically have to tap forward if you're on the ground.
Oh no, can you crouch and push forward?
I don't know if that works.
Like, I feel like if that does work, that might be the most reliable way to use your sword and, like, have a chance.
Yeah.
Some girl is trying. Yeah, and the shurikens don't deal much damage at all. They're weak.
Yeah, that's the issue.
Well, yeah, it's like you're throwing little dinky ninja stars at Metal Man. No, he's probably made of, like, titanium, aluminum alloy with some steel mixed in, just all of the metals. They just combined all the metals to make Metal Man here.
While firing expanding foam balls and mini plastic missiles and stuff.
It's like from that movie Toys or whatever it was. No, not Toys. That's the Robin Williams creepy movie. The Toy Soldiers. Yeah. Except he's full-size
I know what
soldier.
you're talking about. Toy Commandos? I know what you're talking about. It's that late 90s movie.
Small Soldiers, yeah,
You're
Chad's
right,
got
Small
it.
Soldiers.
I don't know why our parents let us watch that when we were kids, but they did.
I actually have not watched that, so. And everyone is on the boss, so
yeah.
This is a really close race so far. Now, it seems to be everyone is equally dying to the boss. And unfortunately, Gruntmeister is game over. And the evil master says, "You fool! You can never defeat the master."
You fool!
Oh, by the way, speaking of fool, would you like to read us the lore of this game? I did send you the manual, and on page 1, you can read the lore. I can read the lore for you if you'd like.
No. Give me a sec. Mike, you gotta give me a sec, okay? Sometimes it takes me a minute.
I'll give you 1 second.
Okay, there we go. I got it. So, Strider returns. You know what? It took 1 second.
You're just laughing, reading in your head.
This guy is like a bad habit. He just won't go away. Now this evil master dude and his legions of Nimrods. Oh, wait. No, this sounds more like Surfer Dude. Now this evil master dude and his legions of Nimrods are poised above the planet in a space station, ready to make the planet one big black hole. Not only that, those blasted automatians, space slang for funky robot type guys, have captured Lexia, not the car, the babe. And are holding her prisoner aboard their space station. Yeah. Don't it just make your blood boil? Don't it make your skin crawl? Dude, does it make your face turn red with anger? Is there steam coming out of your ears? Hold on. Get a grip. We've been in this kind of fix before. Okay, you're right. Probably not this bad. But hey, this is video game. There's always a good guy around somewhere. Get with the program. It just so happens that on the island Moralos, you remember, the secret base of the famous Striders, there's just the guy you're looking for. The most pumped up Strider of them all. Hinjo is just waiting to punch these guys lights out. Go ahead, grab that control pad and give it a shot. Sounds like a piece of cake. Wrong. This baby's not your everyday spacewalk in the park. Strider's back and the fun is about to begin. Rumble on, Strider, dude!
Strider, dude!
Dude! Oh, he's rumbling.
And now do you feel enlightened now that you've gotten a piece of that lore? Oh, by the way, OJ Machine is on the boss.
Oh, yeah,
Since
he's gonna die
actually
this time.
died simultaneously with the boss. Let's see if he notices the flame.
Oh, he will not notice the flame. I'm
sure
gonna
he
go ahead and
won't.
say
That's amazing.
98% chance the fire kills him. Here he
Okay,
goes.
let's see. It never gets old.
OJ did ask in Discord, by the way, is there a secret to the sword shuriken button? So it's a little bit frustrating to him, I believe.
Yeah, exactly, because it doesn't feel consistent.
Oh my
But
gosh, I'm so happy.
basically, the most consistent way to get the sword out is just to tap forward as you're attacking.
Pull it out of the sheath. That's all you gotta do.
Exactly.
Grumpmeister dying. Like, honestly, this first boss is not trivial at all.
No, it's not. And the second boss might be even worse. If I remember correctly, and I do think there's actually listed in the manual. Yes, it is listed in the manual. There is a sliding attack, and you can use the sword slash while sliding. This is actually really important for the second boss because it lets you hit the boss, and while any boss, or I guess enemy in general, is hit, you don't take damage, so you can use that to get hits on the boss safely.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
totally.
you have to play very conservatively during the second boss.
Wow.
It is worth noting that Tristan and Veritasu, this was in a bracket match in Ku5ogrande, and the winner only just barely got to stage 3.
Yeah.
So oh, but it looks like some girl has gotten past stage 1, so she takes the lead.
Some Girl has always been a really impressive player and takes early leads quite a bit. So I'm not too surprised to see Some Girl moving on.
Yep, and if those of you remember this match in Ku5ogrande for the Genesis version, there's some similarities, but it's definitely not a one-to-one with the Genesis version of this game. There's definitely a lot of differences.
OJ Machine moving on as well.
Nice.
Yeah, this is... Like, I don't know too much about OJ Machine. It's just kind of cool to see somebody else taking an early victory against the boss. Gruntmeister might be able to do it here as well, though, depending.
Yeah, I mean, so far the players are really even. They've all made it to the boss, and even though only 2 of them have made it to stage 2, the other 2 are honestly well on their way to being able to get to stage 2 soon themselves. So.
Yes. Now, from what I see, the people in this match have scored 22 points. They do want to take first.
Yes.
That will guarantee your spot in the bracket. Second place may go to a tiebreaker, depending on how all the other matches play
but that's
out.
a big maybe. So you definitely want first in this match.
Yeah, if you want to be in the bracket, take first today.
I guess if you want to stop playing Ku5ogrande, you want to take fourth right now.
I mean, that's how I stopped having to play the games in the tournament. Although I already play enough crap as is.
Yeah. I mean, you're playing the Demon Rush, so...
I beat it!
Oh, you beat it? I must have missed that stream.
Yeah, there's an epilogue, and then there's an epilogue to the epilogue.
And I'm guessing Brooks Crack Tackle is still dead.
Yeah, but he does come back in ghost form.
Really?
Yeah, you can play as him in certain challenge areas, but outside of that, nah, he's stuck being a ghost. But he's a hero.
That's good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to watch this stream.
It's up on YouTube.
Okay, cool.
There is more nudity in that, though, just to warn you. And it's not...
I'm sure it's gratuitous nudity.
Well, it's 2 characters who have been nude in the game before. For better or for worse.
I'm pretty sure that's for worse.
And it's not a ghost. So there you go.
Oh man, this game is really showing off the Game Gear sound chip and all of its bloopity 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 bloop bloop bloops.
Oh,
as in not.
By the way, somebody brought up a quote from one of our recent episodes of Don't Make Us Bored, which I forgot to say, you know, we're always accepting submissions for that, so if you want to show off a weird game of some sort or just have fun and keep us entertained, then feel free to do that. I'm not speaking specifically to you, Mikeyama, but if you are so inspired to just show off a crappy game at some point, even if you aren't able to put work into it, as long as we're having fun, I'd love to see it. But not specifically to you, Mikeyama, you know?
So what you're saying specifically, I should not submit anything?
No, wait. Okay, let me take it back. Specifically to Mikeyama, just No, it's not Pound who's naked, okay? He's already naked. He's a lizard.
Why are we talking about this? I thought this was supposed to be a PG stream.
Look, naked... The word naked is PG. It's fine.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, talking about nudity is PG. And the Mona Lisa is PG. Wait, Mona Lisa is not naked, though.
No, it's not at all. Do you mean Venus de Milo?
I don't know what I mean anymore, Mike. I just don't know.
The years of Kuso have taken a toll on Rosencha, and now he no longer knows what anything is anymore.
Yeah, what is art? I think it's Strider, too.
Oh, yeah, so some girl ran into the time limit in the game because she spent so long figuring out the switches in this stage that she timed out.
Yeah. Honestly, this stage is difficult in any of the versions of the game.
Yeah.
Why am I remembering some really janky version of this game that is like Commodore 64 or Amiga or something? Like,
there is a Commodore 64 and Amiga version.
I feel like I played that and I did really terribly at it.
I hear they're even worse than this.
Oh, they're so bad. They are terrible. Oh, Lady Amygdala made me play the Amiga version. That's why. I'm having flashbacks.
Your repressed memories are coming back.
Oh, jeez. Yeah,
Oh,
what bad video game am I going to remember next?
well, you already remember the Demon Rush because that's fresh in your mind.
Well, yeah, that will never fade, okay?
I don't know what I would say. What's a bad game you really hate? But if you really hate it, then you've probably done your best to forget it.
No, I never forget the worst.
Well, I mean, there's always Athena, Arcade Athena.
Arcade Athena is so bad. But I think that I've actually somewhat been won over, and I no longer think that it's worse than NES. Like, I don't think you can soft lock in Arcade Athena. But I'm unsure. I don't know. It's just one of the games where if you die once, you should just reset because there's no being able to get back into it without starting at the very beginning. It's got the power-up problem,
So it's like Gradius syndrome, where like...
Yeah, it's definitely got Gradius syndrome.
Okay, well, it looks like OJ is definitely in the lead fighting the first mini-boss. And is really struggling with it.
Oh no! Grumpmeister died! Hey, OJ Machine is on to stage 2. Whoop on whoop, having fun here. Yeah, Grumpmeister is definitely the one who has fallen behind everybody else. Still plenty of time, though. Especially since you only get 1 continue per the manual.
It's actually 3. They've definitely continued more than once.
Oh my gosh. I'm reading the US Gold limited warranty. This US Gold cartridge is sold as is, without expressed or implied warranty of any kind.
What?
And US Gold is not liable for any losses or damages of any kind resulting from use of this program. They agreed to 90 days to either repair or replace at its option, free of charge. So they're like, we guarantee that we can choose to replace it.
Yep.
Thank you for that guarantee, US Gold.
Yeah, so some girl in OJ Machine going through laser heck right now. As you can see, this is why I mentioned the electricity. There's a lot of it.
Fine, okay. People are saying it's a standard warranty, but whatever. I've only ever actually had to use that once, and it was for Diablo, actually. Yeah, the CD had some sort of flaw on it, and we could only get a partial install. We could still play it, but it always had error messages and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Justin brought me a sandwich.
Nice.
Yeah, so we took it back to Walmart, and they're like, I don't think it's broken. The CD looks fine to me. And we're like, come on, you Walmart nerds. You don't even know what you're doing. You probably don't even know what a CD is at this point in your life. Like,
okay. So some girl is on the second boss, and so is OJ Machine. And some girl instantly died.
Yeah, sounds about right. Yeah, this boss is not good.
Yeah, this boss is very not good. It follows a pretty fixed pattern, but even with knowing that, it's difficult to get in hits without getting hit yourself.
Like that? Flying straight at you?
You basically have to know that it's coming toward you when that happens.
Or that it's gonna swoop. I don't know if swoop was the right word. It kind of moved diagonally. Yeah, it's not sophisticated enough to swoop.
Yep. And it looks like Grumpmeister is in stage 2, so everyone is in stage 2. And yes, Grumpmeister is only at the beginning, but I don't think some girl and OJ Machine are going to be able to complete stage 2 anytime soon because the boss is just such a butt.
Oh, baby. Yeah, like the explosions. I also like that for some reason the plane is wearing like cheetah camouflage of sort, or I don't know. I'm not sure what this could be called. It's like fire camouflage, which fire isn't very camouflaging.
No, it's not. I guess you could call it leopard print.
Oh, mac
Maybe
and
leopard
cheese.
camouflage.
The mac and cheese fighter. I can dig that, yeah.
Oh, I like it. This shit is dangerously cheesy.
Yeah, so's the stream.
It's such game games.
Oh, and the ropes in the game, they're like Cheeto links. I see it. This is the Cheeto factory.
The Cheeto.
Yeah, it turns out that the cheese, the Cheetos are puffed up using a lot of electricity. Yeah, and definitely, if you're flying a jet around the Cheetos factory, you want... Yeah, this is a good camouflage.
I mean, yes, it is good camouflage for a Dorito factory. You are correct.
Cheetos! What, you're from the Dorito company, Mike? Wow, wow.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You heretic! Man.
I don't even have either one of them, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't care either. Like, I don't know. I don't buy most big name stuff anymore. I don't care for it. Most of it is just like, hey, this tastes like somebody, you know, really likes corn a bunch. Great, yeah, okay.
And salt.
Instead, like, small companies that make chips, like, because every place you're gonna have different chip makers that are small brand. It's great.
Yep.
Oh no, you fool! Whoop on whoop! She's a fool!
No.
I'm so sad.
Some girl is almost getting to that point too. She's really struggling on the plane, and so is OJ Machine.
Well, it's hard to see.
It is.
Why with all the camouflage? Okay, let me clarify about my individual small town chip companies. Because kettle chips are the best, and each company makes them a little bit different, and it's cool to see the different flavors, and I love them. That's it.
Local chips are really great, and kettle chips are great.
Support your local chip kettle person. You fool! You can never defeat the master! Oh, OJ.
What a convincing argument, chip kettle person.
I'm a chip
They
kettle
exist,
person.
I swear.
Yeah, go to the chippery, buy some chips.
Yeah, you fool is a pretty great raid message. All right, well, Whoop Bon Whoop has at least learned the dangers of the flames after you beat the first boss.
Yeah, I got chips right here. Certified gluten-free. Well, duh, it's freaking potato.
Exactly. I find it so weird when potato chips say that, because it's like...
And then it says non-GMO project. I don't care if it's GMO. Freaking, like, if you can make a GMO that is the best tasting potato chip that gives me an extra arm, go for it. I could use another arm.
It'll give you X-ray vision.
It'll even give you Y-ray vision.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's even harder to see.
Exactly. But not Z-ray, that's just asking for too much.
Well, science might figure that one out someday. Yeah, when we get triple GMO. That's right. Yeah, the genetically modified organisms are modifying other organisms genetically. Yeah. I'm actually
OJ Machine has learned, how to get around the flames. So. No, I'm an issue for her.
Anyways, I actually completely understand why putting gluten-free is good. Putting non-GMO, I feel like that's just a fear of science.
Yeah.
Fear of technology. It's legit a thing. People don't understand it, so they think it's bad for them. And simply put, it's a logical fallacy to say that it's natural, therefore it must be good. Look! Poison ivy is natural. You don't see people making poison ivy tea. Freaking morons making poison ivy tea? No, it's gonna make your throat itchy for days. Natural.
I mean, it's a natural itch at least.
Yeah. Actually, I wonder if that would make your mouth itch. I imagine it would.
Wait, you've actually seen people make poison ivy tea, though?
No. It would... I was gonna say it would be a good prank, but I'm not sure it would.
Yeah, no, that would be...
Yeah, that is not an okay prank. But if there's someone you, who is trying to kill you, then the least you can do is give them poison ivy tea,
Tristan, this is what happens when the competitors veto about 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, this game is definitely rough. We're just about half an hour in, and right now we've seen the boss of Stage 2 on a few of the streams. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, Gruntmeister's almost there. He just has to take care of this mini-boss and then get through about 10 sets of lasers.
Okay, so yeah, chat confirmed that making poison ivy tea for a friend isn't a prank, it's a felony, so don't do that. It's not a prank if it's illegal. But yeah, I completely agree with people who say GMOs, essentially the problem is what Monsanto does. They're like the chaotic scientific evil who should definitely not be doing it. But I support GMOs otherwise, outside of that type of business practice, because it's all about extorting people for money. Yeah.
Well, Gruntmeister made it to the second boss, but is a fool because the second boss just instantly killed him.
Well, oh my gosh. This game is just so hard. I've played a little bit of this. It's, the Strider jumping is something that all Strider games have. It's just that it's very difficult to see where enemies are, and by the time you do see them, they're probably already shooting at you. And bam!
Yep. Because you have no space on the screen to actually see stuff. There's an Atari ST version? Of course there's an Atari ST version.
Why do people speak such curses?
Yeah, so I guess for a progress update, I would say that Some Girl is in first because she reached the boss first, with OJ Machine being right behind her, having reached the boss right after her, and Gruntmeister being in third, having just reached the boss but doing almost no damage to it and reaching their third. And Whoop Von Whoop is in fourth, but they can easily catch up.
Yep.
If they can reach the boss and either do a substantial amount of damage to it or kill it. Unfortunately, it's really hard to judge how much progress you've made on a boss in this game, so we're probably just going to have to go by who got to the boss first. If it comes down to that.
I fully expect somebody to beat the boss of Stage 2, though.
I do, too. They've made it, less than the halfway point of the match, so I do expect at least, 1 or 2 competitors to beat the boss, if not more.
For sure. By the way, everybody, the names that you see up on stream are the names that they use on their Twitch channels. So if you are particularly a fan of any of them, feel free to go give them a follow. I know you can't really hear them right now, but we do talk to the people who are victorious and who tend to be moving on. I wanted to say that because OJ Machine, those are actually zeros, not O's. But we say O for zero here in the US because we're dumb. So, Zero J Machine Zero.
Considering how we're doing with coronavirus, yes, confirmation that we are dumb.
Oh, Mike. You know, I want to go travel somewhere. I'm fed up with Utah. But people in Utah are like, hey, let's go ahead and Pioneer Day. Pioneer Day. Let's go out in the streets and party.
Yeah, unfortunately, we might just have to quarantine Utah.
That's fine. Like, can I leave first?
Sure.
Oh, thanks.
By the way, what's Pioneer Day?
It's July 24th. It's a bigger holiday than the 4th here in Utah. Essentially, that's the day that Brigham Young came into the valley and said, this whole traveling thing sucks. So we're going to stop here.
Brigham Young was the founding of, Mormonism in Utah.
He said, this is the place. And people were like, wow, this is a desert. But okay, whatever, Brigham Young.
That's all that he said? This is the place?
Well, he probably said a lot of other crap. Like, and he was pretty racist, too. So
well, that's kind of a given.
Probably like, this is where we're gonna be pioneers and do polygamy stuff, and we'll also have good skiing here.
Good skiing?
My name's Brigham Young.
Advertises skiing, so maybe people ignore the rest of the bad stuff.
Be sure to make good advertisements for the skiing. Also, I heard about arches. That is donkalicious. Yeah, that's a word that was lost to time. Okay, died with Brigham Young.
Donkalicious?
Yeah,
you're just making that up.
I think it was a compliment what he said there.
Well, now we're back to the Cheeto plane, or the Doritos plane, or I don't know, the Takis plane. I don't even know what it is anymore. The leopard print plane.
It's the Cheetos factory. Oh my gosh, not Doritos. Mike, stop cheering for the opposition.
I have no loyalties to highly processed snack foods.
Oh yeah, that's right. We didn't care.
So, Sinahel, the Sega Master System of this game is kind of similar, but it's much easier than this version.
Why?
I think part of it is that you can actually see the screen.
Okay.
But I do remember the level layouts and stuff being a bit different. I do remember it being easier overall.
What is Taki?
It's a snack. I think it looks kind of like a cone or a funnel.
I don't know. Taki? Oh, geez, I looked up Taki and I found a song called Taki Taki featuring Selena Gomez, made by DJ Snake. Okay, they're taquitos, but they're chips. Okay, that's fine. Whatever, I want to listen to this song now. DJ Snake.
At first I thought you meant this song in the game, and I was like, I
mean, it is Selena Gomez, so you never know.
Okay, so OJ Machine has learned the slide trick, which is to slide and then hit the boss, and then you won't take any damage. So yep. OJ Machine might be able to get this, if not in this life. Except I spoke too soon, because some girl just killed the boss.
Nice! Yeah, the slide is honestly overpowered, and like, you do have a timer, but if you get to the boss with enough time, whatever, take it slow.
And the master has many ways. Up and OJ. Wow, that's like we have basically a three-way tie.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, some girl is slightly ahead, but that lead can easily be overtaken.
I'm trying to
It's
imagine
worth noting that in the bracket match in Ku5ogrande, Tristan was stuck on the second boss, and Veritasu just barely beat the boss and got into the third stage.
I wonder what the master's voice sounds like when he talks to you. Because I'm just kind of you'll learn to serve me one day.
I don't know. Maybe it's like Rick Moranis and as Lord Helmet in Spaceballs. You know, very threatening when he's shrouded under his cloak, and then when he actually reveals his face, it's like, "Hey guys,
the master here."
Yes, Karazi is right. The master does have voice acting in the Genesis version.
Oh well. I don't know, we're playing the one where you can actually use your imagination and make the game better. So
I don't know if better's the right word, but at least funnier. and does the Genesis have the radtastic 90s lore in it?
I mean, it might. I haven't read the Genesis manual.
I actually do have the Genesis manual on me, so maybe I can look it up right now.
Okay, go. You will be the authority on the Genesis version in just a little bit. I don't like these crushers.
Actually, it has the exact same story for lore as the Game Gear version.
Oh, it's the same game, sort of.
It is true. It is
no, the
same
grabby
game.
hand. Oh, some girl, the grabby hand gotcha. I love that they put all this detail into the monsters, and then grabby hand, like, they didn't know how to draw hands, which hands are really difficult to draw, I'm not gonna lie.
They are difficult to draw.
But yeah, this person was not a hand artist.
And also, the hands take about a bajillion hits, as you can see. You can sneak past the hands. It is very difficult to do.
I hate that the slime is a single color. It just feels so weird compared to everything else. Or is it a sewer? Is this the sewer? Are we in a sewer level? Oh no. The alien deaths. Moving underground, Strider is confronted with evil alien hatchlings. Finding his way through the maze is bad enough, but then he must defeat the alien mother who guards the exit. Take it all in your stride, but watch out for those slime pits. Oh no, it actually is slime, not sewage. Okay.
Yep.
So that's good. A little bit of a twist on the normal sewer, I guess.
Yeah, so even though Some Girl is in first, OJ Machine is quickly approaching where Some Girl is, and it's going to take about 5 minutes to get past these hands.
Grumpmeister is on to the Cheeto Jet. Dangerously. Oh, jeez, just, yeah. That was dangerous. See, Doritos aren't dangerous. I mean, unless you get one stuck in your throat.
I mean, look at those flaming hot Cheetos that is just dropping on you. Those are dangerous.
Have you ever choked on a Dorito?
I have not choked on a Dorito.
Well, don't, because like choking on chips is the worst experience ever. Because
I'm sure it's very painful and potentially deadly. So I have no plans to choke on chips.
I mean, I didn't die, but yeah, I think I've choked on most foods at one point or another, though. You know. I was the kind of child, okay? I was a dumb child, and I was the kind of child who, if there was food and I was supposed to eat it, then it would all go in my mouth, and then the eating would begin. And
wow,
that's a good way to die. Yeah.
Grumpmeister made short work of that plane. It took him the longest to get to, but he... So everyone is on stage 3. Unfortunately, Whoop on Whoop, I don't think they made it to the hands, and they will have to make up progress, although there is still time to.
I'm actually very surprised that everybody has made it this far.
Yeah, no, so am I. We might actually see someone make it into stage 4. And that is just pure pain. Like, I legitimately don't know how to make it past stage 4. In fact, the one playthrough that I've seen of this game used a cheat code that gave, I think it was unlimited health. Or maybe it was unlimited lives, but either way, it was not a legitimate playthrough.
I'm just thinking, you know how parents always said you have to chew your food so many times before swallowing?
Yeah.
It was because of kids like me. Children like me who didn't. Who, like, chewed once before trying to swallow. And that's not effective. Okay. Anyways, yeah, seeing 3 people on the gross alien stage. Why did I hear Metroid?
Yeah, same. That's what I was wondering.
OJ? Did you leave alerts on, OJ?
All right, well, Gruntmeister is on the hands, and they grabbed him.
Oh, no.
Yeah, they have a huge hitbox. They have to stay very far away from them.
Yeah, what I would say, by the way, for the people who were talking about drawing hands, you could draw hands with mittens. Or better yet, well, boxing gloves would work as well. Or just put them in, like, balls. Ball hands.
I think Sarah was on the 3rd boss. Yes, she is.
Ah, it's a good dinosaur. Oh, I like this dinosaur.
I don't remember how this boss works, but I just remember it's really hard to dodge its attacks. So trying to burst it down in time is a good strategy because you really don't want to deal with this boss if you can help it.
Damage racing seems... Oh, no.
Yeah, the problem is the boss, as all the bosses are in this game, take a ton of hits.
I'm glad that the dinosaur is the alien all along. Whoa! Some girls jump. That was acrobatic.
That was really good. Too bad there's, no way to really... Oh no! Didn't get a good jump there.
I wonder, can you just slide through the boss?
Maybe.
Because if so, that could be a decent way to deal some damage and not get hit.
But you'd have to...
You fool!
Yeah. But you'd have to slide with such a spacing that you hit the boss first and then you slid through the boss, so it'd be very tight.
Yeah, it would have to be moving to the left.
Okay, well, that definitely puts some girl in first. She made it to the boss first. And did a decent amount of damage to it, too.
Oh yeah, quite a few hits. Oh my gosh, I'm looking at the Genesis version of the boss, and it's a little bit cooler looking. It looks like it's a metal dinosaur of sorts.
Yeah, it's bigger.
Who decked the dinosaur out like this? Why does the dinosaur have a gun? I don't know. These are all very difficult questions to answer, but, next week on our podcast, we'll discuss how dinosaurs get guns.
It's called evolution.
Wow, in Utah, we call it evolution. Yeah. Because it's evil. You see, Mike?
Okay. It's because it's evil. I like it because dinosaurs definitely are definitely fit in with Dungeons and Dragons alignment. Ooh, I like that. Thanks for attending Brosentia's Turd Talk.
Wow, that's a pretty good one. Oh my gosh, this music is really way calmer than I expected for the dinosaur fight.
And it's also way more musical than what I expected out of the Game Gear. Yeah, so OJ Machine has hit the boss a lot and not take as much damage as some girl, but I don't know if he's done more damage because he's only throwing shurikens at the boss.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, honestly, OJ has the chance. Well, never mind.
Oh, never mind. Has the chance to
die.
Yeah.
Did a good job there. Good job dying.
Yeah. So this definitely puts him at second at the very least, because he reached the boss second.
Oh, yeah.
It's hard to say if he's done more damage to the boss, so. Again, as I told the racers, if we can't tell how much damage was done to the boss, we'll just go by who got there first.
I feel bad. I feel like I have to give OJ a little bit of a hard time every once in a while because like, I don't know, he was working on getting the emulators working right while I was doing the countdown. And then during the countdown asked, is audio okay? Like, I don't know. There are a few people who I'm like, yeah, I just have to give you a hard time. He's one of them.
Oh, and Gruntmeister also on the boss. So we have 3 people on the boss.
Very nice. Oh my gosh. Like, so this is really impressive.
Yeah, this is a really close race. The only thing is that if OJ and Gruntmeister game over, I don't think they have enough time to make it back.
Yeah, honestly, 10 minutes, that's not much time. And
Yeah.
OJ is on his last life right now. I wonder if he has any continues, though. Oh, it's sliding that. Nope.
I don't think so.
You can never defeat the master. Never, ever. Ah. That was a good name. Hey, you could never defeat the master. Forget about it. I'm the master.
the master of bad Italian accents.
You fool! You can never defeat the master. To the pits of hell with you, Strider. Hey! Yeah, I'm mastering over here.
I'm mastering over here. What are you doing?
Oh!
Yeah, well, it looks like no one got past the third boss. I think there is a small chance for some girl to make it back up to the third boss and possibly make a notable amount of progress. But as it is, right now, some girl made it to the boss first, so that puts her in first.
Yeah.
OJ Machine in second, Gruntmeister in third, and Whoop Von Whoop in fourth. But the places can change because Whoop Von Whoop has been to stage 3, and they can make it back to the third boss potentially in time.
I think so. Yeah, I'm not sure OJ Machine or Gruntmeister have a chance, but you don't stop until it's over.
Exactly.
We have seen people think there's no chance I'm going to do it, and then bam, they manage to make more progress than somebody else. We've had people move into first in the final few seconds of a match. It's happened.
It's happened in this Ku5ogrande, so it can definitely happen again. Or, you know, we can have players stuck in a pipe with sharks and stuff until, like...
Oh, I feel so bad about Andy. But at the same time, I'm really glad that we do get to see somebody new as the Ku5ogrande champion in the future. It's just, what a way to go.
Exciting. Yeah, the previous champions are either GMs or they didn't make it into the bracket.
Yeah. So, if you're still in Ku5ogrande, Andy's out, you've got a chance! Yeah,
I think Dragon Dark didn't participate this Ku5ogrande, so...
Yeah, Dragon Dark did not. I know that this has been a pretty intense year for him. So he's been pretty busy. Yeah, that's essentially what we've got going on. You can do it if you're watching and you're still in the tournament. And for the rest of you, well,
You're stuck. Well, you're stuck like we are.
Yeah, you're stuck not playing bad video games. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Well, some girl is at least making quick progress through stage 2 because she is already on the boss.
Nah, honestly, like, I know that there are a lot of people who play who don't think that they have any hope of getting in. Some are really surprised by how they do, and then some play video games like I do, where it's like, yeah, I don't think I have any hope, and then you play and you're like, yeah, confirmed. That was fun. But at the same time, just being able to experience a game that you've never played before, that, doesn't behave like every other platformer out there in the world, it's exciting. And a lot of people...
It's an exciting experience.
Yeah, people
enjoy what other game has a Cheeto Jet?
I can't think of any. Yeah, Cheeto Jets for sale only on Brosencha's stream.
Alright, so I know OJ Machine had a consistent strat for the second boss, but it looks like some girl just kind of damage raced the second boss the last time, and she's really struggling with it this time.
Yeah, I do think that some girl either got some good lucky jumps or just managed to... I don't know. I am worried about her, though. I'm not sure she's going to be able to do it. Whoop on Whoop kind of running into the same issue here.
Yeah, Whoop on Whoop. Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Some girl! She did it!
She did it! She has a chance. She has 5 minutes to make it to the boss and kill the boss, so this would be very tight.
It's possible.
It's possible. The only thing is, I think she would kind of have to speedrun through the hands. You technically don't have to kill the hands, but you have to be very precise in your movements to do that.
Like, I imagine every day of Ku5ogrande is like Christmas. At least it is for me, because I never know what I'm gonna get. And then sometimes it's like, wow, this is what I always wanted. And then other times it's like, thanks, Grandma. You really tried. But, and then I get to watch people deal with these games, and I'm happy. I'm happy.
Well, I think it helps that you don't have to play the games yourself.
It helps a lot. It's like getting a box of chocolates and then making other people eat the chocolates, and it turns out they're not chocolates. Well, they are chocolates. They're just like, they have no sugar. They have no sugar, so they're really, really bitter chocolates.
What is this analogy?
So you get to watch their faces. They're like, this is bitter. And then you're like, haha, that was kind of funny. Then you watch somebody else do it again.
Life is like a box of Brosencha chocolates. You never know what's inside or what he's gonna say.
Well,
I'm not wrong.
Never take candy from me? Oh, come on. You can take candy from me. I'll probably fight you for it, though. Got the 1-2 punch. Yeah, that's right. Yellow belt and karate over here.
So it is worth noting that Whoop Von Whoop did manage to beat the second boss, so they do have a chance. It's going to be tight, but they do have a chance.
Actually, then again, every once in a while, I offer chocolates, aka a bad video game, and the person says, I don't want that chocolate. And I'm like, no, you said you want chocolate, here's the chocolate. They're like, no, I didn't want this one. And I'm like, well, what am I gonna do about it? They're like, I'm not eating this chocolate. Crap. Well, why not? Or somebody takes one bite and they're like, no.
Well, Whoop on Whoop, unfortunately, game over, and they put the name in Butts. And yep, that's what this game is. It is Butts.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, there's no chance to catch up, so it looks like they're just going to hang out in the title screen.
Yeah, I think some girl has first place luck. Some girl will be moving on to the bracket. OJ Machine, I believe, is in second, if I'm not mistaken. And
OJ Machine has a chance for a potential tiebreaker because he made it to the boss second. Unfortunately, it's really hard to judge progress on bosses, which is why I said if it's too hard to judge progress on bosses, and I figured this could happen, then we'll just go by who got to the boss first.
Yes, it's dinosaur time! Some girl fighting the dinosaur.
It's dino time! Let's see if some girl even has a chance.
Rawr! You know, some days I want to be a dinosaur, some days I want to fight a dinosaur. Today's a fight a dinosaur day. I don't like the idea of exploding while fighting a dinosaur, but, you know. By the way, chat is asking about what happened with some girl. Some girl died to a hand and went straight to the dinosaur. So yeah, it looks like there may be a potential for some death abuse and death warping in this game.
Yeah.
You fool! OJ, no! Don't let Darth, that guy...
Maybe the trigger for the boss is only horizontal and she was on the correct horizontal line, or I don't know. Who knows? Or maybe it, like, underflows or overflows vertically.
A vertical overflow. It's called putting too much coffee in the coffee mug. Crap, I had a vertical overflow and now everything's wet.
Yeah. I mean, some girl isn't being very successful with this boss, but I understand why she's trying to, like, damage race or speedrun it, because there is almost no time left.
Yeah, honestly, I think she is doing the right strat. Just trying to get through it ASAP. But unfortunately, the boss deals so much contact damage that I just don't think it's gonna happen.
Yeah. Yeah, especially with what, the 10, 15 seconds we have left, so...
I don't know, you never know, Mike. But I think we know this time.
Yeah, I think we know this time.
Oh, so close! How? Oh my gosh, it was so close to perfect, Mike. Like, I don't understand. But it's okay, everybody. Relax, breathe. This was Strider Returns for the Game Gear. Some girl definitely is the victor. She managed to get to the dinosaur first and had quite a few attempts there. OJ Machine taking second, Whoop-on-Whoop third, and Grumpmeister fourth, unless I'm mistaken.
No, it was Grumpmeister third, Whoop-on-Whoop fourth.
I was mistaken. Thank you, Mike. This is why I have other people here, because... yeah, because sometimes I forget. Hello there, some girl.
Hello.
Oh my gosh, congratulations on your victory.
Thank you.
Yeah, so what are your thoughts of the game?
It was pretty fun.
Oh, really?
Really?
Yeah, I think Mike's a little bit surprised. I've played a little bit of it. I do think it's a little bit fun, even though it's kind of flawed.
Oh yeah, it's definitely, like, not a good game, but it's like, I don't know. Outside of the boss fights, I thought the boss fights were pretty bad.
Yeah, I'd kind of agree with that. Not the best bosses that
you should
ever
try
existed.
getting up to the fourth stage, because I have no idea how to beat the fourth stage. I would really like to know how to beat the fourth stage. But anyway, and you'd get to meet Waspini.
Yeah, I
Not kidding. That's in the manual, bro. Sent you. The boss's name is actually Waspini.
Wait, the dinosaur is?
No, the
next
fourth
boss.
Oh. Okay, cool.
But, the dinosaur boss has a ton of health and deletes your own health. And I'm not shocked that ended runs for you. Actually, it was a very close race. You were just the first one to make it up to the dinosaur boss.
Okay, gotcha.
Both, I want to say, like, 3 out of the 4 racers, like, beat stage 2 about, like, within 5 seconds of each other.
Something like that.
Like,
yeah, honestly, it got really close about 40 minutes in. It was pretty exciting, and 3 people made it to the dinosaur boss. Speaking of that, we've had this on Ku5ogrande before. Nobody made it that far in the match that we had. So seeing 3 people make it to the dinosaur is super impressive.
Yeah, I mean, that second boss was really like... I don't know how you're supposed to not take hits when it goes across the middle or bottom of the screen.
Oh, there is a strat you can do, and OJ Machine did this, is that you can slide and slash it with your sword, and the boss won't hit you while it's taking damage.
Oh. Okay.
And that's how you handle it being on the bottom.
Yeah, I just kind of had this whole like route of where I would take specific hits to make sure that I could get enough hits in before dying. I was like, okay, I have to take... I was trying to take hits off of the missiles because it felt like the missiles did less damage than the contact from the boss. And then I would jump and then do a slash. But yeah, that boss was tough. It's a hard game.
Yeah, it is. I've played some of this before. I do struggle. Honestly, there are so many versions of this. It's kind of surprising. The Amiga version is something special, though, if you ever get the chance.
Yeah, also, did anyone see what happened at the end where I like warped to the boss?
Yeah, you died at the hands and for some reason warped to the boss. I thought you did that on purpose, but I don't know.
No. I fell in the pit and then suddenly I was at the boss and I was like, yo.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah. It's like, all right.
I
just tried
glitches.
mashing my face. I was like, all right, let's see if I can get a clear on the boss by just mashing my face against it. And I did not get the clear.
Some days you just never know what's going to happen.
I mean, it was a good strat because you didn't have much time left.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I have no idea how the death warp happened. I assume it's just the like checkpoint might be based on your X coordinate or something. And because I was underneath where the boss was, it's like, oh, you must have died at the boss, and then just put me up there. But I'm not really sure.
Yeah. Oh, well, seriously, great job today. I really enjoyed watching this. You're in the bracket, so,
yeah.
You're solid there. And
relief.
Yeah, not only that, but I'm trying to think. Honestly, we have a lot of new people coming into the bracket. I know you're a bit of a veteran, so you'll have to show them what's up. Yeah.
I was in bracket in Kuso too.
Yeah, so show them what's up and kick some booty, okay?
All right.
Cool. Anything that you're streaming these days or that people should know about?
I mean, my main stream thing is I'm playing through every GBA game.
Ooh.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Have you already played Polar Express?
I have not. I've beaten 217 of them. So
Polar Express can wait. I don't think it's the best.
I would say that's impressive, but that's maybe like 10% of the library.
It's about 20%.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think we're going to go ahead and move on to the third match of the day. All right. Well, thank you so much. I'll see you later.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Good luck to the rest of the competitors, and GG to all my competitors.
Heck yeah.
And congratulations on making the bracket.
Thank you.
Yeah, take care, both of you.
All right, see ya.
See ya.
See you later, Brosette.
Yeah. Everybody, this is Ku5ogrande, the Bad Video Game Tournament. As a quick reminder, I want to let people know that signups are available for both Big Bad Game-a-thon until the end of the month, and Don't Make a Sport, which is available pretty much always. If you want to do a speedrun for Big Bad Game-a-thon, we would love to see it, and if you want to play anything that's a speedrun or a showcase or some sort of high score attempt, or frankly, we had a dance game, we've had DVD games, we've had weird things, as long as it's video game related, do whatever strange thing you want and submit it to Don't Make a Sport. I haven't considered reading some of the Mega Man books because those are something special. And frankly, I think it might need to happen sometime. Okay, also thank you to everybody who subscribed, including Dr. Amamine recently. You're helping keeping me fed as well as buying gifts for prizes. Prizes are like gifts that you deserve. Yeah. Buying prizes for Ku5ogrande. So thank you. Quick ad, and then we'll be right back. Whittle Blue Bowie, you are too awesome. Seriously, you rock. It's weird to rely on the kindness of strangers when doing streams, but at the same time, I don't know. It's humbling. Thank you so much.